Well, it's Groundhog Day again. So I watched Groundhog Day again. Groundhog Day, as you know, is about a time loop. And if you didn't know, now you do. Time loops, in this regards, is Bill Murray playing a selfish weatherman who goes to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania to cover the Groundhog Day celebration and then ends up being trapped in Punxsutawney, where it ends up being Groundhog Day every day. At the end of the day, every day, he will wake up at exactly 6 o'clock on Groundhog Day. So from 6 o'clock to 5:59 in the morning, it will be Groundhog Day for Bill Murray. And if he's asleep after 5:59, then by 6 o'clock he wakes up at Groundhog Day. It's the exact same thing every day. Now he can change the way the day ends up going each day on Groundhog Day, of course. For example, he meets this portly fellow who asks him about the groundhog, and every time Bill Murray reacts differently to this man's reaction to Bill Murray's different reaction will cause that day to end up differently for him. So Bill Murray ends up being able to survive the time loop by just being different every day, because the people will react differently to him every day. Bill Murray, of course, goes through all of the stages of grief throughout Groundhog Day. He accepts it, he gets depressed, he gets angry, but he goes through a selfish phase where he just tries to do anything that he wants with absolutely no consequences, such as trying to sleep with every single woman in the town of Punxsutawney, and using every failed attempt to learn something new about the person so that the next day he will try using that new information to try to acquire what he wants. And he did that to learn almost everything about everyone in the town. And then he eventually finds that he wants to try for Rita, which is one of his co-workers that came to Punxsutawney with him. And at first he was just trying to sleep with her, and then he eventually learns, hey, he actually likes her. And then he realizes that the type of person that he is the type of person that she would never get with. So he spends pretty much thousands of days learning all sorts of things in order to essentially become a different person, a better person. And of course, at first, when he tries to adopt all of these things, he's doing it just to get a little... So for example, Rita says that she likes a man who knows French. And so Bill Murray learns French, so he can use that to his advantage while going on another date with her later on after he has learned French. And then the next time she says that she likes a dude that knows how to play an instrument. So Bill Murray learns how to master playing the piano, and he eventually becomes such a master at it. And then she talks about some other things that he learns how to sculpt, ice sculpt, and all that other stuff. He eventually learns how to be a superhero, basically. He has been in this town for so many repeated days that he has memorized where all of the accidents and bad things happen, so that he would go and undo all of the bad things to try to stop all of the things from happening. He eventually learns how to become a doctor. He learns a doctor's profession just so he can help cure a homeless man of an ailment that he has. And at the end of the day, he learns that some people just die. There's nothing that you can do. It's just old age. It's just their time. So he would spend the day trying to give this homeless man the best day that he could ever have before his inevitable passing. So he would find the dude, he would take him to a diner and feed him and get him a real appreciation and all that stuff. And of course he takes him to the hospital at the end of that day, where he ends up passing away because it's just what was going to happen. And that is what sparks him down this road of trying to help people. And he goes throughout the day trying to be the best person he could possibly be on that day. He doesn't even try to get Rita anymore. He just goes about trying to be the best person he can be, trying to help as many people And at the end of the day, he ends up being the talk of the town. Literally everybody in Punxsutawney knows him now, just from one single day, even though he spent thousands of days getting to know them. That everybody ends up feeling like they know him somehow, probably because he spent thousands of days with them. But at the end of a single day, to their perspective, he has become the talk of the town. He has become a darling of the town. Everybody loves him. And this wows Rita to such an extent that she falls for him. And at the end of the day, the next day ends up being the day after Groundhog Day, and he wakes up in bed next to Rita. It's one of the most feel-good endings that you could ever experience in a film. The writing of this, everything about this movie, every act, every action that is taken, every line of dialogue, every body language movement from people, to the score, the music that is picked out to play in the music, from the lyric music stuff and to the actual orchestrated film score, everything is perfectly picked and chosen to enhance the mood, enhance the emotional response to what's going on. It is one of the best films I have ever seen. And of course, I had to give it another look. To just give Groundhog Day a look. Not talk about time loops and other shows or anything like that. Just talk about Groundhog Day. And I've done that. Groundhog Day again.